بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أوصيكم وإياي أولا بتقوى الله فقد فاز المتقون، كما قال الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: اتق الله أوصيكم بتقوى الله، أوصيكم بتقوى الله، السمع والطاعة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, to our assistant brother that's beginning class with the morning dua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidun Majid. Allahumma bika asbahna wa bika amsayna wa bika nahya wa bika namut wa ilayka an-nushur. Bismillahilladzi la yadurru مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبيا. اللهم زدني علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم أعني على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين يا رب العالمين. We always try our best to remind ourselves the importance of remembering Allah every morning, every evening, with all the zikr that the Prophet have taught us. And by doing that, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people who always remember Him in good time, in bad time, in difficulties, or when we are happy. We always ask Allah to make us among the people who remember Him. And also, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to strengthen our iman, to increase our sabr, to face all the fitan, the trials that we are going to be tested by Allah sooner or later. We ask Allah to protect us, our children, our family from all fitna that we can't bear. And also we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive the sin of all of us who are here and those who are absent among us, the living and those who have passed away among us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our prayer. Amen. And before we continue, we'd like to convey the warm salam from our brothers and sisters in Turkey. The majority of them are Turk Muslim who participate in our conference. But they came from Belgium, they came from Germany, from the States. So we have a lot of workshop going on when we have our lecture there. And this is one of the activities organized by the Quran and Sunnah groups. Then we went to Macedonia. They have organized a few lectures in the Macedonian mosque for the Macedonian Muslims, and also the Albanian mosque for the Albanian community, and the Turkish mosque for the Turkish community. Alhamdulillah, it was a very good gathering, especially the Albanian mosque. It was full, the whole mosque was full. And they also conveyed the warm salam to all brothers and sisters here. Looking at the whole situation that we are in today, I dare to say that we are in the best position, best environment, because we are given the freedom to do what we think is right for us. So far, alhamdulillah, may Allah protect our leaders, protect our country, and also may Allah give guidance to all the politicians, so that they don't get involved in any religious matter that may create a lot of unrest in the heart of the believers. Alhamdulillah, we also been reminded by some of the sisters about be careful what is happening in Turkey, Istanbul. But Istanbul is very peaceful, alhamdulillah, just one area where the people gathered to go against the intention of the Muslim government who want to stop liquor selling and also smoking in a special green area. So wherever you are today, you see that there will be a group of Muslims who will go against Allah's rule openly. We may be weak in our iman, but Islamically we are not supposed to go against the law of Islam. We may not be able to exercise some command of Allah. There is our own weaknesses, but we have no right to dispute the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you do that, it can be very dangerous. Either you are still inside Islam or you are out from Islam. And because Allah said, فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُكْفَرْ. Whoever wish, you believe. Whoever wish not to believe, and then declare that you are not a believer. Allah do not want people to play around with His religion. Either you are in or you are out. Allah is testing everybody so that we know what is happening in the heart of the Muslim today. By name they are Muslim, but by faith only Allah knows. In certain countries like Macedonia, a certain area, you hardly find any people like me. They say, we import Chinese product, but we don't allow Chinese to come in to spoil the market. Because the Chinese are good in doing business. So we become almost an alien to them. Wherever we go, they look at us, see. My grandson always use one word, machina. I thought he was talking about China. So happened that he is so involved with the washing machine. So they say machina. My daughter, Wafa, sent a warm salam to all the sisters. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them. They've been working very hard to revive the Quran and Sunnah, starting a lot of activities. So we have been with them for a few days. We visited some centers. was good, alhamdulillah. The young generation is coming back. So you can see the difference. The young people are the one who have beard, the old people are clean, shaved. Alhamdulillah, even some mosques belong to the Turkish community. When it was a surprise when they proposed our name, that they accept us to give a lecture. Normally they don't accept because they are strong Hanafis, very strong Hanafis. The only thing I say, we have to meet the Imam before we start our lecture, to get his blessing as an elderly man. So we asked the Imam for some guideline. And then he said, 45 minutes. No question asked. So we realized that they are worried. Maybe there are a lot of controversial kind of issues. I said, no problem. We just seek your guidance, see what you want us to do. And after a short lecture, he was very happy. Because our approach is always different. We do not create any kind of confrontation, misunderstanding between the Ummah. We are informed that it's important to be loving, caring Ummah. So, alhamdulillah, the people who believe in the Quran and Sunnah was very happy with that too. So we just remind them what is the best approach that they can use in facing the environment between the elder generation and also the younger generation. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of them. And we also are aware about what is happening, going to happen in Egypt soon. That something very, very big will happen at the end of this month. And only Allah knows what is the result of this happening, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of one very important thing. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. In Surah Saf, verses number 9. Surah Saf, verses number 9, meaning Surah 61. Surah 61, verses 9. It is He, Allah, who has sent His messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with guidance, and the religion of truth. وَالَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ, in order to make it prevail over all false religion, however hateful this may be to the pagans. Now what Allah is trying to tell us and remind us is the important to understand the meaning of guidance. Now this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us to ask Him every single day. Oh Allah, guide us on to the straight path. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Why guidance is so important? Because we need to be guided. Our children need to be guided. Every single one of us need to be guided. The minute you feel that you don't need the guidance, there is the time you can easily turn astray. When we talk about guidance, you must be guided by a religion, not by your feeling, not by your emotion, your desire, but by a religion. And Allah has made it very clear that the religion of truth only exists in Islam. Why Allah said Islam? Because the early religion have been distorted, been omitted, been changed, been modified, because the believer are not that faithful than the Muslim. The Muslim until today, you may also encounter a lot of bid'ah, but you still exist a group of people from everywhere that will uphold the truth of Islam, the Quran and Sunnah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that when He sent His messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, He did not send him just by miracle, showing us His power, but with a very important guidance. That is the religion of Islam. And Islam, Allah has made it very clear, "Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum," I have perfected this religion for you. So Allah do not allow anybody to interfere, to make any changes, minus or plus, in Islam. We just have to accept it like how it was revealed to all of us. But no one will understand the command of Allah properly without going through the teaching of Prophet Muhammad to guide us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the true believer is a group of people who will follow the Quran and Sunnah, the truth, even a lot of people are not happy with them. However hateful this may be to them by the own community, especially the disbeliever. So Allah is telling us that when you hold fast the Quran and Sunnah, you will find some pressure here and there. People are not happy with you, and this is very common to the believers. But Allah says in other ayah, لا يخافون لومة لائم ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء. Allah said, Allah gives guidance to whom He please. And the guidance of Allah is there if you want to know whether you have the guidance of Allah or not. There will be a kind of peace in your heart, and you don't bother what people is going to complain, talk about, bad about you. You don't entertain. Because that is a part of the Sunnah of Allah. Anything that you want to do to get closer to Allah, there will be a group of people who are not happy with you. Because this is what Satan planned. To cause a lot of pressure, fear, but لا يخافون لومة لائم. Allah said, this group who are faithful to Allah, who are being guided by Allah, He feared nobody. Because at the end of the day, we know we are going to die. And when we die, we are not going to see anyone first except Allah. And who will be the first people to come and witness, to bear witness to all of us, is Prophet Muhammad. And while you are with Allah and the Prophet, shukr. And also there was an incident in the time of the Prophet, Ibn Abbas and some companion asked the Prophet a very important question that I'd like to share with all of you this morning. He said, Ya Rasulullah, there are prophets, messengers, they are righteous people, rich and humble people who have been doing a lot of good deeds for the sake of Allah. Their status is very high above. So how can a person like we, a normal people, we are believers, alhamdulillah, but we are no prophet, we are no messenger. We are believers, but maybe we are poor, we are not rich like other believers who can contribute more, give more, so that Allah will bless them more. So where do we stand in the hereafter? Where do we stand? Can we be among this group of people, the prophets, the Anbiya, righteous people, those rich Muslims who are very humble and always contribute to the sake of Allah? So this group of Muslims who are normal Muslims is asking the Prophet, where do we stand? Yeah? So answers, where do we stand? The Prophet ﷺ gave a very, very beautiful answer. He said, you will be with whom you love. You will be with whom you love. So if you love the prophets, you follow the way of the prophet, you will be with them. If you love the righteous people, you will try your best to be righteous like them. You can't contribute in money form, but you can follow the other righteous deeds that they are doing. You talk good about them, because you love them for the sake of Allah, you will be with whom you love in the day of judgment. That means this is an opportunity for all of us. If you want to be close to the Prophet, be with the Prophet in Jannatul Firdaus, the opportunity is always there. Love the Sunnah of the Prophet. If you want to be among the companions of the Prophet who love the Prophet, and you just honor them, protect their names, don't allow anybody to abuse them, like how we don't allow people to abuse Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then inshallah you will be among whom you love. So may Allah make it easy for all of us to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even sometimes you have pressure here and there from family members, neighbors, sometimes from people who are very close to you. But may Allah give guidance to them too. Because in life, there is the most important thing for us to have the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And again, Allah says, when we talk about guidance, Allah is talking about religious guidance, not just any guidance, not just read any book and make a conclusion. No. Now let us go back to our class today. If I'm not wrong, we should be discussing topic in page 1 to 16. Deviation in the creed of Qadar. And that is the topic. Now, when we talk about the last article of faith, belief in Qadar and Qadar, the Prophet ﷺ was given the knowledge by Allah to inform us that there will come a group, not a group, a few groups among the Ummah of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, who will have problem with Qadar. Now, among the extreme parts of deviation that we present in the above diagram are those relating to the belief in Qadar. But in this chapter, we briefly discuss the two major, not only two, but two major groups that deviated from the correct belief in Qadar. The two major groups is known as Qadariyah and Jabariyah. Qadariyah and Jabariyah. Yarhamkallah, Shafaqallah. Qadariyah, Jabariyah, these are all among Muslims. They are not talking about the disbeliever. Those who believe in Allah, the angel, the book, the prophets. But when it comes to Qadar and Qadar, they have some issues. These two groups started in the early centuries of Islam, but this does not mean that their beliefs are now extinct. To the contrary, some of them are still held by many Muslims today. Though not labeled by Qadariyah and Jabariyah, they may not call that we are Qadariyah, we are Jabariyah, because this term is very new to a lot of Muslims. I think also it's new to all of us. What is this Qadariyah, Jabariyah? But it's not that it's important, but the way we believe. If you have this kind of belief, that means you are part of this group. Okay? Now this makes it imperative to understand and refute those beliefs. In the following two sections, we present a description of Qadariyah and Jabariyah. From this description, it should become clear how to refute their doctrine by the early discussion in this book. Yet we find it helpful here to present brief and summarized interpretation for the sake of completeness. Now look at the meaning of Qadariyah. Qadariyah is a deviant group that rejected Allah's Qadar, especially in relation to people's will and action. Meaning, Qadariyah is telling people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had no control. Allah had no power to control us. This name could be thought to mean the supporter of the belief in Qadar, which is the opposite of the truth. A more descriptive name that the ulama apply to them is al-Qadariyya al-Nufad, group that denies Qadar. Qadariyya arrive at their forms belief by mixing right with wrong while reasoning along the following lines. Number one, humans have full power over their action and complete freedom of choice. Humans have full power over their action and complete freedom of choice. Now it makes sense. This group of people, some of them, when they talk to you, they use akliyun, rational. And it do make sense. And that's why this very fine area that we must understand. Do we have full power over our action and complete freedom of choice? What would be our answer, the normal answer? Yes, I'm free to decide where I want to go, what I want to do. In a way, yes. So many things, but just go through it. Now, number two, the group of Qadariyah say, if Allah is the creator of everything, including human actions, then human cannot be accountable for the action. You see the rationale is there. Now they are playing with Aqliyah, purely using their brain, their feeling. If Allah control everything, so whatever we do, you don't blame ourselves. God has no right to blame us. God allowed this thing to happen. We are arguing now. In other words, it is not possible to reconcile between the human's freedom of choice and that they are accountable for the deed that Allah created. Number three, text indicating Allah's general and all-embracing will and creation must then be restricted to exclude human action. Allah cannot have prior will, choice, or creation in regard to people's actions. Number four, therefore a person has an independent will and ability in what he or she does. And Allah's will and ability have no effect on him. No effect. Allah has no control. In other words, people are independent in creating their own actions. Outcome of Qadariyah belief. From the above description, we see that Qadariyah in fact attribute weakness and incompetence to Allah. Their belief that He does not create people's deed implies that there must be other creators besides Allah. Thus, in their wrong attempt to exalt Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala above injustice, they end up ascribing to Him what is what? Shirk. Qadariyah will end into shirk. Meaning, Qadariyah is saying we have more power than Allah. That's how it goes. La quwwata illa billah. You know that. La quwwata illa billah. No power except the power of Allah. Furthermore, some of the extreme Qadariyah openly say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not know what people do except after they do it. That means Allah does not know what people do. They say after something happened, then Allah knows. And that He did not write their deeds in the preserved slate, Lawhi Mahfuz, nor did He, Allah, know who was going to obey or disobey. It is a very serious accusation towards Allah. Look at what the Prophet talked about this kind of belief. The Prophet's warning. Since Qadariyah believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not create our action, there must be another creator of those actions, whether it is ourselves or someone else. Therefore, they set up partner beside Allah in His creation. Because of these, the Prophet called them the Magians of the Muslims. The Prophet gave them another name. Abdullah bin Umar reported that Prophet said, the rejecter of Qadar, al-Qadariyah, the rejecter of Qadar are the Majus, Hazi Ummah, is the mention of this Ummah of mine. They are my Ummah. We know that Majus are not Muslims. But there were a group of people who was Muslim before because they do not know who is Allah, but they believe that there is a creator of the sun, the moon, the stars. They believe that stars do not exist by itself. There must be a creator. There was a point of time they are Muslim. Like the Jew, they are Muslims because they believe in the Torah. They believe in Moses. Like the Nasara, the Christian, they are Muslim because they believe in Jesus, they believe in the Bible. The Injil that was revealed to them. But later on, they start to divide. The Majus start to, the Jews start to divide by claiming that Uzair is a son of God. The same go to the Nasara, start to say that Isa is the son of God, no more the son of Mary. From the son of Mary, now they translate to the son of God. The Majus also start to worship the sun. The beginning of the Majus, they don't worship, they believe that is a creator of the sun. Where is it? It's up there, we don't know who. But they still have the belief on the creator. They don't just believe, the star is my God, the star gods, the sun god, the moon god. We Chinese have a lot of these gods too. The moon god, that's why you have moon cake. Inshallah, if you make moon cake for you to eat, it's halal. Yeah? But when they offer to the moon god, then it's not halal anymore. When they offer it, you cannot take it. Because anything that is halal been offered to any kind of elite, then they are God. Other than Allah, we cannot consume it anymore. But it just they come up with some kind of cake. Look at the moon, look at the sun. It's okay, it's a shape, it's just a shape. They like certain shapes. So the Prophet is reminding us the rejecter of Qadar are the Majins of this Ummah. Do not visit them. You see the warning from the Prophet. The Prophet said, do not visit them when they are sick and do not witness their funeral. The Prophet are very firm toward all these so-called Muslims who purposely go against the Quran and the Sunnah. He don't entertain this group. Because it's not that they do not know, but they are creating fitna within the Ummah. Believing that Allah does not create the people's deed, make them resemble the Majin who believe in dual gods, one creating good and other creating evil. This denounce the Hindu have this very strong belief. That's why we believe when they have the celebration, Deepavali, they use light. And that means God is fighting with the evil force and God wins in this battle. And that's where the light comes out. The light is a symbol of what you call symbol of power, symbol of victory. Now this denial of Qadar was one of the first ideological division that appeared among Muslims. Whether it was the influence of alien dogmas and philosophies or the intricate nature of the pillar of faith, it produced a serious havoc in the Muslim Ummah, even while some of the Prophet's companions were still alive. The Prophet ﷺ foretold that soon there were to be those who deny Qadar among the Muslims. Anas and others radiallahu anhum reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Khafa ala ummati min ba'di, I fear for my ummah after me, ta'ziman, the denial of Qadar, and believe in the star, tasdiqan bin nujum." The Prophet is now alerting us. If you experience today in Europe, or even in our country, especially in Bukit Bintang area, you can find a lot of pubs, clubs here and there. Yeah. And where it's known, you can go and look through at night, you can see all the night. Yeah. Young and old, male and female, everybody is there. But in Pakistan, you can see everywhere you go there are palm readers. Yeah, palm readers. People like to believe in all this nasib, holding birds and all this kind of cards. This corner, that corner. Compare with pubs and palm readers. Which one is better? But not say okay then. They are poor people, they are more poor people there, so they can't afford to have a lot of this pub. If they are pub, the pub will be burned down. Yeah? Some extremists. Only those extreme people who say they have to go against all the munkarat. But at the same time, these families are more dangerous because they do not just destroy your moral, they destroy your belief. We today, Muslims, also have these issues. With the problem, you like to go and look at see some spiritual doctors, so-called. Before you say anything, they know what you have here. You start to believe. One of the things that the Prophet said, if you believe in what they say, remember 40 days of your life, your deeds will not be accepted. So if you start Ramadan, you can see one guy and ask for something. You start to believe the whole Ramadan, all your deeds will not be accepted. Because Ramadan is 30 days, but the Prophet said 40 days. You can fast, of course, you must fast, but there's no more reward. To show you the danger of going to this. You can say, understand, I just go for fun, I don't believe that. Why you go? The Prophet has said to us, you got this kind of people, don't even visit them. Don't even see them when they are sick. Because these are the destroyer of your faith. It's very, very dangerous. Like when we are reading in the newspaper something like the color of the star, Scorpio, just bypass. It's okay, I just read for fun. And suddenly you want to buy one book about that. Just for fun. Started from fun. Later you start to have the belief. It's true, what is written in. Shaitan played with this. Abu Hurairah reported that Prophet said, "Ukhir al-kalam fil Qadar, lisirari ummati fil akhirah." Speaking falsely about Qadar is postponed now. They don't want to entertain. And will be done by the worst people of my ummah in the late generation. Now a lot of people are talking about Qadar without realizing that they are in this group. Because we are not used to the Islamic terms. But we are doing a lot of things that is going towards it. Arguing. This rizki is from me, nothing to God. It's not Allah who gave me rizki, it's my own effort. I work hard. It's my intelligence, knowledge I have. That's all the sign. I decide everything, I think what I think is better. So you think that what you think is the best, not what Allah decides for you is the best. Now all this kind of feeling is bringing you towards Qadar. You're denying that what Allah planned for you is the best. You're denying that the guidance of Allah is the best guidance. The word of Allah is the best word. The Prophet said, Khairul kalam kalam Allah. The best speech is the speech of Allah. Now you see a lot of Muslims, when they talk, they don't use the word of Allah anymore. They give their opinion, their saying, their words. Where is Allah's word? With the early generation, the prophets, companion of the prophet, great leaders, Abu Bakr, Umar, when they talk, they will put the word of Allah in front of any words. Allah said, not me. That's how humble the leaders before. And that's why Allah blessed them until today. We still mention their name. We don't live in that time. We don't know who they are to us. But when people talk about Abu Bakr, mashallah, Umar ibn Khattab, we feel good for them. Why? Because these are men who put the word of Allah ahead of anything. Today, wherever you go, you see when the people give a talk, especially people who are in a higher level society, the word of Allah to next season. We can experience this. We are mixed with a group of people who are considered themselves an elite group. The elite group are all very elegant because the E and E is always there. And then they hardly even talk about God. Yeah? Dunya, feeling, talking about themselves. This is all a sign, without we realizing that we thought that this all has nothing to do with God. Yeah? And sometimes when Allah gives us more things, you see, it's my own doing, nothing to do with God. As we discussed earlier, in this whole denying Qadar is no slight act of disbelief. Rather, it is equivalent to rejecting the whole faith. Therefore, it deserves a great punishment in this life, in addition to the punishment of the hereafter. Abdullah ibn Umar reported the Prophet said, يَقُولُ فِي أُمَّتِي Hussain was my ummah will witness earthquakes and transmutation into animals, befalling those who deny Qadar. Earthquake we have witnessed it, but the transmutation into animals, not yet. But it happened in the time of Musa, where a group of Jews, the young and old, was forbidden by Allah to go to the sea to fish on Saturday. No fishing. Leave the fish by themselves Saturday. You have these smart people. Twist the word of God. They don't go out fishing, they go and put the net in. Because they saw the fish coming out, attracted almost. They said, David, all the fish is coming up. And we don't go, okay. Because they said, no, we don't catch it today. We put all the net, we go catch it tomorrow. When Allah said, no fishing, that means you don't go to the sea. That's how it goes. So people who twist and turn Allah's command, Allah has turned them into pigs and monkeys. Refutation by shared religious texts. In this subsection, we review Qadariyya misconceptions by clear text in the Quran and Sunnah. Number one, Allah clearly indicates that He is the creator of everything, including people's needs. For example, Allahu khaliqu kulli shay'in. In Surah Zumar, 39, verse 62, Allah said, Allah is the creator of all things. All things in the world, including people's deeds, happen by Allah's will. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about fighting, وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَقْتَتَلُوا وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَفْعَلُ مَا يُرِيدُ. If Allah had so willed, they would not have fought each other, but Allah does what He wills. Allah has the power to stop any war. But at the same time, Allah gives us some freedom. Now, why Allah gives us some freedom? Because Allah wants to show that we are better compared with other creation. Where other creation have no choice. Angels have no choice except to obey our command. Who have choice like us? Anyone have no choice. They just got to act according to their fitrah. If they say your food is this is your food. Your lifestyle is on the ground. If your life will be in the ocean, to all the sea, the fishes, they will be in the ocean, in the water. And that's how they are sunnah of Allah, the people. But two creation of Allah, then Allah make them special. The jinn and the ins. The jinn and us. Because the jinn also have freedom like we. They can choose to be a believer or not to believe. They can choose to be good jinn or the bad jinn. The same go to human, we're given a choice. That makes us special. Because Allah gives us a choice. It now means He has no control. He has power to control. Right? If Allah let it happen, it now means that He is powerless. No. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to show us that He gives us the right to decide. But He warned us, He sent guidance to us, and He said, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. And then He left it. Why? To show that He is just. If not, then you can say, it's not my fault. No, make it like that. He gave you. When you buy some durian, you know how to choose which durian. You know how to choose the great one, the good one, the Musang King. You know how to ask Musang King, and this king, this queen. When you have to buy a garment, you know how to choose. You know how to get some advice here, and then when it comes to good deeds and bad deeds, you just sit. You can lie to other people. You can twist and turn your word, but you cannot lie to Allah. And Allah also said, وَلَوْ شِئْنَا لَأَتَيْنَا كُلَّ نَفْسٍ هُدَاهَا وَلَكِنْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ مِنِّي لَأَمْلَأَنَّ جَهَنَّمَ مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ. In Surah Sajdah, verses 13. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Surah Sajdah is Surah 32. If we had will, we could have granted guidance to every soul. However, my decree, my Qadar, will come to pass. I will surely fill hell with jinns and people all together. Allah is telling us that hell will be entered by the jinn and the human. Refutation by common sense. In this subsection, we refute Qadariya misconception by simple common sense principles. 1. The whole universe is owned by Allah. Since the people are part of the universe, they are owned by Allah as well. An owned slave has no right to act in his owner's dominance without his permission and will. There is the common sense. Number 2, there is no contradiction between a human's free will and choice, and that he is constrained in various ways. For example, a driver on the highway may be constrained by the size of the road, spacing of the disease, construction area. Example, yet he is responsible to follow the traffic sign and regulations, and will be liable to punishment if he does not. This is part of the common sense that we can use if we want. But people who do not want to entertain this kind of common sense, they also use another common sense. Is common sense with common sense. At the end of the day, we become senseless. No sense. Don't know what to say. Don't know what to feel. You make sense, I make sense, so many people make sense. Let's go back to what Allah and the Prophet said. I don't entertain my feeling. That's where the shaitan comes in. Play with all feeling. Now, Qadar and Qadar is a very sensitive area. But the best way is to believe what Allah says. Don't believe what people say. Don't believe how you feel. Believe what Allah wants you to feel. That is Qadar. Means, in brief, Qadariya means a group of Muslims who say that God has no control over whatever we want to do, everything is our choice. I want to pray because I want to pray, nothing to do with God. I want to give sadaqah because I want to give, nothing to do with God. It's me who decides. It can be very arrogant. Very, very arrogant. We forget that Allah gives us that good feeling. The feeling of goodness also came from Allah. Just one simple example, in Macedonia, the brothers was asking me, we have a big issue here with the Macedonian Christians. Ask them, what do you say about Mother Teresa? She was not there. So we have one group of people say, he go to hell, she go to hell. Constant. We create a lot of unrest among the people who give you the right to say that what kind of God, what kind of religion you're talking about. She's known to be so good, helping the poor, feeding the poor, and then you tell him, you go to hell. You think you're better than her. A certain thing, we are not sure what is going to happen to a person. We say Allah is very just to everyone. If a person denies God here, then Allah forbid them to enter His paradise. Now, whether she denied Allah, we do not know. Whether the truth of Islam have reached her, we do not know. But anything, Allah will give a final trial, a final judgment. Because for us to say something without strong evidence is not easy. So like us, a lot of our friends who are not yet Muslim. Why? Did we ever talk to them about Islam? No, yeah, we eat with them, we travel with them, we share a lot of things with them about dunya, but we don't talk to them about Islam. So they may feel that Islam belongs to us, so they do not want to interfere in this area. So it is our fault. That's why Allah will call upon us. That's why the Prophet said, "Balighu anni wal ayah." Convey from my teaching even one ayah. How many ayah we have memorized? Qul huwallahu ahad, one ayah. Allahu samad, two ayah. Lam yalid wa lam yulad, three ayah. Wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan, four ayah. We have memorized. Inna a'tayna, one ayah. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar, two ayah. Seven ayah, now the last one. Al-Fatiha and then seven ayah. Even you can say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Tell them why you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Tell them, you know why I say Alhamdulillah? We should be very thankful to the provider of this food, drink, and Allah, who created all of us. And then hear the word of Allah. Today, a lot of Muslims, they are not approached, not yet Muslim, because the Muslims don't set a good example. Just too bad. still we have a responsibility to tell people what we know about Islam. Share with them. وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. All the bounties of Allah, you must share with them. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't betray the message of Islam. So in brief, that Qadariya means we are saying that whatever that we are doing has nothing to do with God, because we have the full power to do what we want to do. Allah is powerless. There is, you will end with Sheikh. The second group, the Jabariya. The Jabariya is just the opposite of the Qadariya. Jabariya, the compulsions, derive their name from the word Jab, means compulsion. Jabariya went to the opposite extreme of Qadariya by over-affirming Qadar to the extent of denying human will and choice and claiming that we are compelled by Allah to obey or disobey Him. A more descriptive name that the ulama scholars apply to them is Al-Qadariyya wal-Mudbita, group that over-affirms Qadar. Jabariya arrived at their false belief by mixing right with wrong while reasoning along the following lines. 1. Allah is the creator of everything, including people's deeds. They believe Allah has all the power. Yeah? Qadariya say Allah is powerless. And here they believe Allah created everything, He controls everything. Number 2, there is no distinction between people's action that happen by their choice, such as eating, and their involuntary actions such as shivering. They are part of Allah's irresistible qadar. Number 3, people have no choice or power over the action they do. They are controlled without choice, like a helpless storm floating on water or a tree blown by the wind. They are denying the power, the will of our interest. In reality, number 4, people do not perform their deed, and ascribing action to them is only symbolic, saying he prayed, he fasted, he murdered, or he stole. Is similar to saying the sun rose, air moved, rain fell. So they are relating here. We have no control. Who can control the rain? Nobody can control the rain. The weather forecast can just say maybe it's going to rain. They cannot guarantee that this is going to happen. Allah, number 5, is the only doer of everything in the universe. Therefore, any evil act or atrocity is truly and solely done by Him. Number 6, Allah holds people responsible for that over which they have no control, power, or choice. Allah still holds us responsible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number 7, caused unnecessary trouble to humanity. He goes through the unnecessary task of trying and judging them for action that they do not really perform and are beyond their control. Outcome of Jabariya belief. From the above, we see that in reality, Jabariya attribute injustice to Allah. They accuse Allah of doing things in vain and without purpose. Consequently, they claim that the command and the prohibition of the Most Wise are without wisdom. This totally demolished the religion by undermining the purpose of revealing the book, sending the messengers, and calling to Allah. Why Allah? This ayah, one ayah, a very simple ayah that we can really understand is in Surah Al-Imran, قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ تُؤْتِي الْمُلْكَ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَنزِعُ الْمُلْكَ مِمَّنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ بِيَدِكَ الْخَيْرُ إِنَّكَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. So that ayah, Allah said, all kingdom and power belong to Him. He is the owner. He is the king. And then He said, He gives to whomever He please. He gives you certain power, He gives you certain freedom. So it's up to you. You are free to choose whether you want to have noodle or want nasi lemak. Nobody can force you. Even food is in front of you, still you have the freedom to choose. You can say, I know I have no choice. Who can force you? Unless you are a slave to somebody, you say, eat, you force it. But Allah said, yes, He is the owner, He created, He is the creator. But He has given you the freedom to choose. Look at the simple example for our future daughter. Our daughter who is going to get married. Do she have a right to choose her future partner? She has the right. Messenger was sent, prophet was sent to remind us, you cannot force your daughter to marry anybody. You can advise them, you can recommend to them, but you cannot force them. We may have the freedom, and that's what the Prophet said to the girls, when you are not ready for any guy who been chosen, matchmade by your parent, you have to make it clear to them. If your parent don't accept your reasoning, you just have to say when the Qadi is there. Because the Qadi is going to ask you. And you say, I don't accept it. Of course, it's not good. The pineapple is here, and then you say, I don't accept it. But she had the right. If you don't give her the right from the beginning, she can embarrass the whole world.
And there's no sin upon her.
No sin upon her. Because her right was not given at the time. You must honor her right. So the final thing is when the nikah is going to take place. Then the Qadi got to make it clear. And she had to say. That's why you look at the way the church conduct in marriage. There's any objection. Somebody just run in, I object, Qadar. Me, she's my girlfriend, how can she marry another guy? They have to delay everything. So Islam also said the woman, the girl have the right. But your right, you exercise it by saying it clear now. Your silence means you agree. That means even you have to force yourself, that means you have agreed. This is just an example of that. Allah said, I create all of you, yes. I have all the power, yes, but I have given you certain freedom. I have given you the freedom. We know the freedom that we have from Allah. And you are free to choose good and bad too. Allah said, I show you two ways. I show you two ways. My way and the way I warn you about the other ways. And then Allah said, I sent prophet to guide you. But in the same time, I remind you about the Satan, that his duty is to turn you astray. So, it's not fair to us. Because He created us in the best form. He sent guidance, Quran for us. He sent prophet to us. And then He warned us about Satan, and He warned us about all the wrongdoing. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Why Allah send down all these commands? And that's why the Prophet said, Ittaqillah. Be conscious about Allah. Be faithful to Allah. And the best way to show to be faithful to Allah is by what? What is the best way to be faithful to Allah, to have consciousness towards Allah? As-sam'a wa ta'a. Listen and obey. That's what happened to the first generation. They listen, they obey. Second generation, listen, they obey. Third generation, listen, obey. Fourth, until today, listen. They still listen. We all are listening. Obeying. Refutation by Sheikh. In this subsection, we refute the Jabriyah misconception by clear text of the Quran and Sunnah. One of the ayah I mentioned earlier. This is other dalil. Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala affirmed that people have a will and ability by which they act. For example, Allah said, Minkum man yuridu dunya wa minkum man yuridu al-akhirah. Example, among you, Allah said, are those who desire the worldly life and those who desire the hereafter. You have a group of people. Those who want only dunya, I want dunya to be my jannah. Yeah, a dunya jannati. Right? Somebody say, Baiti jannati. My house is my jannah. Some say, my kitchen is my jannah. So it's up to everybody starting to create all these terms. My kitchen, so you have to cook, you have all the things ready for you. So you become like a jannah. And there are people who desire the hereafter. The lifestyle in Macedonia, our experience, from the outlook, you see most of the houses are very, very old house. Building, just brick, some wall, not attractive at all. And we don't have all the highest rising building like us in the area where I was, my daughter staying. I think the highest story I've seen is about 7 floors. The rest is, and they have courtyard. Most of the houses there outside look very simple, like an old house. When you open the small gate, you see a garden. Nicely, mashallah, it's a beautiful garden space there. There's some privacy, like tea, outside the garden. It is very relaxing. But they don't have all the paint, color, very simple. And you can still see all the handy, they don't even cement everything. All the original brick is still there. But inside, very cozy. Very cozy, alhamdulillah. And they say, because of their simpleness, you don't hear people coming in, robbing, stealing. So it's too simple. Alhamdulillah. During the time of communism, they say, the socialist government, they don't allow you to build wall higher than maybe what you hear about 4 feet. Before, the Muslims always have higher wall. So they have some privacy and they get into their compound. Only most of the houses, because at that time only Allah knows, their toilet is only one. They have 5, 6 rooms maybe, but one toilet. There is a struggle, a jihad over there. When you have to go to washroom, you must plan. You must queue. There is our jihad too when we were there. Because we staying there with in-laws, and my daughters in-laws. They are very kind people. But we struggle with them. Alhamdulillah. We survived 3 days. Sometimes we look at the wisdom of the Prophet, say, be a guest for 3 days. More than that, you have to. They start to feel. All the food is so delicious, but their food is just their way of cooking. We're not so used to it. Creamy. We love all nothing compared with Malaysian food. Alhamdulillah. So Allah is telling us, among you, you have a group who desire the worldly life, and you can. That's why you have people who just dunya they get. And among you, those who desire the hereafter, they will get their share too. But the best is those who have both. You can have the dunya for akhirah. Dunya khuliqat lakum walakin lakum khuliqat li'akhirah. Dunya is created to serve you, not you serve dunya, to serve her, but you were created to serve Allah for your akhirah. So you can use the dunya as a bridge to bring you close to akhirah, but not as something permanent because you're not here for what. And then you can do it.